A very good morning, guys, and welcome back to another daily market outlook. My name is Fabio, and in today's market outlook, we're going to be going through every single major dollar pair and, of course, gold. So, starting off with EURUSD, we have still seen further bearish momentum, pretty much as expected. Now, obviously, we haven't really seen any V-shaped reaction at this overall swing low. So, I know a lot of people were looking for potential longs from these lows. However, you need to understand that we are still waiting for bullish momentum to kick in. For now, I'm still waiting for this area of demand to get hit before looking for any potential reversals on EURUSD. Obviously, we could just adjust it to this overall sell before the buy. I like to refine it to individual candlesticks, but then you see that we have actually, in fact, already tapped into that demand zone. And why this might be of interest, I'm going to show it to you guys in a sec. For the rest, obviously, supply is still in control. With this being your major supply zone, we would preferably want to break that supply zone before looking for any potential longs on euro dollar. Going in towards the 4-hour time frame, we can obviously see that the overall bearish momentum is still extremely strong. Now, again, I saw some people try to long euro USD yesterday. Again, guys, please do not look. If you have a 4-hour fractal break here, literally like this one in towards the downside, and this low got broken by this high over here, and you then form an area of demand on this sell over here, and you think, aha, now we have a bullish candle close, the market is ready to push back up in towards the highs. You need to understand that a fractal break on the 4-hour time frame means absolutely nothing. They happen everywhere, but where they happen and how they happen, that is far more important. If you see that they happen after tapping in towards a daily area of supply, and you see this entire leg in towards the downside, please don't think that the fractal structure is some magical thing that is then going to help you buy your USD all the way in towards the upside. No, we need to see momentum kick in. You need to see multiple bullish candles. We need to see internal structure broken before really getting interested in any potential buying opportunities. So that's what I'm waiting for the rest of this week. No buys on your USD this week. I'm just waiting for an overall shift in momentum from both the 4-hour and the daily time frame. And the dollar index is indicating that that momentum might come in, because if we go in towards a daily real quick, what you can very clearly see is that we have finally exactly tapped this area of liquidity, which I have been announcing for many days. Now, the only thing we have not yet reached, or have we, let me just quickly see over here, is this daily area of supply. So I'm still waiting for that daily area of supply to get hit to then get involved with a potential dollar pullback if we see bearish momentum kick in on the lower time frame. So what do I mean with the lower time frame? Then obviously the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour, again, what we saw yesterday was that we broke the fractal high. So over here, we break this fractal high, and then again, this morning, we break this fractal high. So potentially, if we break this fractal low over here, so the low of this middle bearish candle, and then once again, we break the low with momentum, and we start breaking these areas of demand, yes, then I will clearly get interested in a potential short on the dollar. However, you do not just want to try and catch the top or the bottom on one fractal break on the 4-hour time frame. That's not going to say, okay, the market is now ready to go full steam back in towards the downside. No, we need to really look, okay, what is the daily as well doing? If I look, for example, here at the daily time frame, what I then identify is that the fractal low is on this doji candle over here. So this is your daily fractal low. If that low were, for example, to break, then the probability of us, for example, making a much deeper pullback would be far more high probability. For example, grabbing liquidity underneath this low and then, for example, continuing either up or just continuing with momentum in towards the downside. So that is what I'm looking for from the dollar index. For now, just still further upside until we see a real shift in that market structure. Going in towards AUDUSD next. So Aussie dollar itself has not really done that much. What you can very clearly see once again is that it's selling off. We can very clearly see as well that this supply zone, which I just actually deleted by accident, the supply zone is still in control, guys. So you can very clearly see this supply zone, this buy before the sell. You could even adjust it to these two candlesticks over here on the 4-hour time frame. That is now in control. We just grabbed the liquidity, and let me just mark out the liquidity for you guys. We just grabbed this internal liquidity high over here. and we tapped in towards that higher time frame area of supply, and then from there we just sold off back in towards the downside. So again, for Aussie dollar, what are we waiting for? Well, we're waiting for a shift in momentum, because if we now look at the daily time frame, guys, and again, it's so beautiful what this fractal structure and what these areas of supply and demand can do and can mean for us, is that if you look again at the individual candlesticks, this is your buy before the sell. Now, what do you see happening here on the lower time frame is that we just come in, and then again we're now pushing back down again. So what I'm waiting for an Aussie dollar before any longs is a break of this supply zone. This supply zone needs to break in order for us to understand that the market is ready for further upside once again. Until then, Aussie dollar is still a short. So yeah, just follow the overall trend in towards the downside, because it could just continue dropping down lower. Aussie dollar is still extremely weak. The Australian dollar is just very weak in general, so it could just still keep on dropping as long as we don't really see any shift here in momentum. So just follow the daily area of supply down lower. Going into pound dollar, what are we seeing there? So pound dollar obviously sold off with news on Wednesday. So that was Wednesday, was yesterday, just making sure. So here on the 4-hour time frame, again, you see it's just more a liquidity grab. This is why, again, we don't just randomly buy on an area of demand that is then created, because again, fractal breaks happen everywhere, but you need to understand that we need to see a lot more momentum. If we could then go into the daily time frame, again, you can very clearly see that the daily supply was in control the day before. So this was your daily supply zone. You see, you just tap in and you push back down lower again, and now this supply zone is in control. So again, yeah, pound dollar doesn't really have anything to its left over here in regards to demand. The only thing that it has is this major liquidity low. So what I'm now looking for to understand is, okay, are we just going to tap back in towards this supply zone and then see a lower time frame change of character on the 4-hour and then look for shorts, or are we actually going to break that supply zone and then, for example, push up higher? So I would only be interested in a potential buy if we break the supply zone. Otherwise, just look for further shorts back down in towards this demand zone. Okay, so that is what I am looking for personally. Then we go into Kiwi dollar, so NZDUSD as well. Very, very clear that it's moving further in towards the downside. So over here you had this buy before the sell candle, acting as our imbalance, as supply pushing the market down lower. Yesterday as well, we shared, or at least I shared, a market update with potential further downside from NZDUSD. So what you can very clearly see is that, again, we just come in towards the highs here. This high over here liquidates this equal high over here, right? So this is more kind of like a range. This high liquidates and then it pushes back down lower, indicating to me that this is a strong area of supply, that there's a lot of, let's say, potential to sell off from this zone over here. Hence why you also see you come in towards the zone and then you move straight back down again. So then obviously you drop down in towards the 4-hour, or excuse me, in towards the 1-hour time frame or the 15-minute time frame. And then on the 1-hour, for example, what you see is that you can get involved with shorts. So just removing these lines here for you real quick, what you see here is the 1-hour change of character. So this was the change of character high. Then this over here is your change of character low. This is another, this is another change of character low over here. And then, for example, get involved either on the retest of that 1-hour supply zone with your stops above the highs, targeting obviously a new lower low, or you could get involved on the second low break over here. And then depending on where your stop loss is, either you just got wicked out very dirty last night, or it was a break even because it was probably a 1-to-1 risk to reward over here. Then you could also still obviously place your stop loss above the highs like this, and just trade it down lower for a potential 1-to-3, because as long as the market is still trending like this with that daily supply in control, NZDUSD should just simply move down lower. So for now as well, the same thing goes as I've been looking at, or as I have been looking at on these other pairs, is that this supply zone over here is in control, this black box. If we break that black box, yeah, then I would be interested in buying NZDUSD again in towards, for example, this supply zone over here. Otherwise, what will happen is that it's likely that we're just going to trickle down lower and lower, with momentum. See another push down, see another pullback, and then just push down again like that. So that is what I'm looking at on NZDUSD. If you have any questions, make sure to join Discord. Gold, on the other hand, has just been continuing up higher. It has hit its all-time high. Yeah, what can I say? Pretty much as I have been expecting. I didn't share too much on gold just because at the same time it's a little bit messy, but overall what you can very clearly see is that over here this overall sell before the buy has been now in control, and this was your demand zone over here. Then again, this is your next area of sell before the buy, also in control and pushing the market up higher. So for now, let's see if we can break this high with some momentum, and then see this as our next area as the sell before the buy, which is then in control as an area of demand from where you would want to be looking for further longs. Because for now, again, gold, I wouldn't want to short it. I would only be interested in potential further upside with the overall momentum. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, as always, make sure to join Discord, and I'll see you over there.